I've been playing a lot of the Persona 5 gacha game that came out, and I mean a lot. And alongside my other experiences with gacha games, especially with how much time I put into Girls Frontline 2, it got me thinking. I am fucking sick to death of live service, player retention, gacha and MTX filled games. I'm sick of games wanting your time and your money. Not one or the other, both. And they want all of it. The other day, I was recording a script for my Persona 5X review. It was 5,000 words, which is a lot for a troglodyte like myself. But halfway through recording the script, I had this realization. I hated everything that came out my mouth. I hated the script and the way I was trying to talk about the game being both technically a normal Persona game, but with gacha and mobile mechanics mixed in. I hated justifying mechanics because it's just a gacha, and that's common in the world we now live in. Gacha games in between patch content are just daily and weekly content simulators. Whilst the same can be said for MMOs to a degree, most other games have a depth and breadth of additional content other than the sole combat system repetition for limited drops or RNG rolls that are gated based on time or money. There is always a finite limit of grinding you can do per day to stagger progression. If you have a bunch of free time one day and want to make substantial progression, fuck you. Follow our gating system or don't play at all. But if you consistently don't have free time, you'd better hope you can allocate at least 5 to 15 minutes every day to ensure you're not missing your crumbs of currency. Otherwise you're behind, and yesterday's lost currency can't be regained today. It's not enough to give these games playtime and to show up in monthly average user stats. It's not enough to give them a couple of pounds here or there since you're enjoying the game. They want you to log in every day. They want you to buy so many monthly bundles that it's basically an unofficial subscription cost. They want it all. And more people are just giving it to them. Companies use the term dolphins and whales to describe user spending. A dolphin is a medium tier spender. Let's say the price of a £30 game on a gacha each month. Whereas a whale, they'll happily throw thousands down to max a character they like. That's the high tier of this economy. But what about below? There are free to plays at the lowest rung. That's a person that never buys anything, and instead has to log in every day for 15 minutes to do challenges for a pitiful amount of currency. But above free-to-play and below dolphins, I propose the term minnow. Small purchases, non-consistent engagement, but still trapped in the system. Because I'm a minnow. A stupid fucking minnow that opened my wallet during my months-long playtime of Girls Frontline 2, and now the purchase barrier has been broken. Oh Sonny, the monthly login bundle is just a £5, and it gives 600% value. That's crazy. All you have to do though is log in every day for 30 consecutive days to claim the rewards that you paid for. If you miss a day when you bought this bundle, you miss a reward that you technically paid for. But it's fine, because you're going to be logging in every day to do dailies for more scraps of currency. £5 down. For the privilege of becoming the rat in the cage, drinking my daily little dose of cocaine water and gleefully running to my wheel, to run for 15 minutes like I do every day. What a fun situation I've gotten myself into. But why? Why am I doing this to myself? For fun? For value? For the sake of feeling small dopamine sparks? Because this Skinner box has a nicer theme than another one? And if I'm going to get fucked by the continual enshittification of game monetization, it might as well be in the colours of the team I'd want to rep. Bullshit. The lot of it. We all know gaming monetization has gotten worse. Good single player games are released with battle passes and cosmetic microtransactions. Games built not to be a fun experience from the start, but to be a platform for the developers to drip feed content and seasons, so they can find new methods to wring you for your cash. Seasons as a whole are another thing. New season, new battle pass. New season, new cosmetics, new season, so we have a reason to take away the power of your hard-earned gear and make you grind for new stuff. But hey, that new stuff might have a cosmetic for it that you can buy with real money. What do you mean you want to do hard challenges for cosmetic rewards that show that you put the effort in? No. We'll make you do the hard challenge for the privilege of buying a cosmetic reward, which Destiny 2 is actually doing. Jesus fucking Christ. Destiny is actually a great subject for this point, because they have a gacha game coming out, Destiny Rising. And you want to know the thing I find most fucked about it? It has everything players have been asking for Destiny 2 to get. Sparrow Racing League, updated Gambit that has 16-player PvPvE, a roguelike mode, 6-player strikes, a ping feature, and a card game, and so much more. And the price of this content is your willingness to open your wallet. Or to become a slave for the daily grind for pity currency. Destiny itself is a game about grinding for RNG drops, so it's not that far removed from the gamble of a gacha. But if I want to do the raid at launch in Destiny Rising with a team, will I be shunned because I didn't spend money to gamble for the specific 5-star character that makes the content easier? Am I letting the team down by using the free 4-star support instead of the paid Gacha 5-star? Destiny 2's monetization is already egregious. It's why I quit. I couldn't take paying to pay some more. But Destiny Rising is going to take that even further, with adding so much cash for convenience, it'd make a club toilet attendant blush. And the worst part is, I think Destiny Rising is going to rake in fat stacks of cash. I think it's going to be a huge cash cow, because Destiny fans are already beaten by the system. Anyone that couldn't stand the monetization has already left, and the ones that are still there just want a good game to play. They're still playing, therefore, they're still paying. What's the issue with paying a little bit more if they get more content? And this is the issue. It's too late. The brakes on this train cannot be pulled. They cannot be pulled when FIFA makes so much money. In 2020, EAFC, the new name of FIFA, made $1.6 billion in microtransaction revenue alone. It's one of the most popular games in the world alongside the 2K series and Call of Duty. And sadly, the average player that plays FIFA does not consume this kind of YouTube content. They're not truly aware of how hard they're getting fucked. They might just be normal adults that sit down after a day of work and want to unwind, open some player packs and game with the boys. They might be children and want to make a good team to compete with other kids in the schoolyard. And Billy, single parent with no disposable income, will pale in team score compared to Kyle the spoiled, whose parents are going through a divorce, so gets unreasonably high pocket money as the parents pay to curry the favour with the child. So what does Billy do? He grabs his mum's bank card and buy some packs hoping to get lucky. But one thing almost all of these games do is currency obfuscation. You don't buy a pack for £2.99. You buy it for 400 coins or crystals, but you have to go to a different tab and buy 3,000 currency for $29.99, which then obfuscates the pack cost unless you manually do the maths. But Billy doesn't care. He just buys some packs and hopes that he gets lucky. But who could have guessed? He doesn't. So he buys more. But he needs more currency, so he repeats this cycle a few times. And Billy has no idea about the repercussions that are going to happen to him when the spending catches up to him and his family. I can tell you firsthand how terrible the effects of microtransaction abuse can be. I used to work for PlayStation, doing technical and customer support. I did it for a year, and it was one of the worst years of my life. Not that you need explicit proof, but as a fun throwback to when I was at my lowest, here's a clip of a video when someone prank called my PlayStation department pretending to be Morgan Freeman and got me on the line, which made me have a nice shift in a sea of bad ones.
Thanks for calling PlayStation Support. My name is... Can I take your name, please?
Hi, it's Morgan.
How can I help you today?
I'm trying to watch the Shawshank Redemption. Is that going to be like a problem? Is from a few years ago.
I think yeah, even if there was a release disc, it should still have some sort of effect. By the way, I did love you in the Shawshank Redemption, but if that's everything, thank you for calling PlayStation Support. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks very much.
But aside from that, this job sucked. Calls from idiots that got angry because they didn't know that turning something off and on again fixes almost everything. People with racist names trying to get unbanned, and a sea of tedious calls from people who forgot to cancel their PlayStation Plus subscription. But the real mental pain and heartbreak was when I had to speak to parents whose children had overspent on MTX. Some were angry, some were upset, and some were just straight broken. Sometimes it was £50 and they were annoyed, but could pass off the loss. Others, it was a couple of hundred, and that was rage and tears. But the worst was when it was in the thousands plus category. The most I ever experienced personally was a woman whose son had drained her account fully. 45 fucking grand. Her entire savings. Her rent, her bills, her life. A lot of people call thinking that their kid's account was hacked. When I tell them it's not because we could prove purchase via IP addresses, they deny. My child would never. Could never. How dare you say that? But a lot of them didn't realise that they had left a card on the account when they got their kid PlayStation Plus, or let them buy some COD or FIFA points and then didn't take the card off. Some kids knew they were taking advantage of the parents' cards, and others didn't. But this woman, she knew she made a mistake. In my head, I can still hear her crying. Not fake crying like some of them would. You could tell because their tears would immediately dry up and be replaced with anger too fast. I mean, this woman was destroyed. Her entire life savings, rainy day fund, the works, all gone. Which resulted in a ghoulish hollering that still pierces me to this day. And the only thing that I was allowed to say was I'm sorry that that happened, but as the money had been used to buy coins, and those coins were handled by another game company, and most likely spent. There's nothing we can do. Then another round of screaming came ringing through the headset. I did go against protocol though. Life pro tip. You can charge back via your bank if the conditions match well enough. PlayStation will automatically ban the account for having a negative balance, and you can get your money back if you're cool with the account being banned. I repeated the line about PlayStation doing no refunds to her, but implied that a chargeback would be the only way to get the cash back. To this day, I still really hope that she got the trick. But that's just one anecdote of many that I experienced, and so many more that happen over the world. But these predatory systems aren't just designed to take advantage of children. The psychological tactics of gacha games and modern MTX has no morality, and only seeks to take the most money from the most amount of people possible. How do we stop it? Well, unless we dismantle the heart of capitalistic systems that strive for the endless pursuit of profit at the cost of workers and customers, I don't really think there is a way. This video was more of a vent session, as these thoughts have been rattling around my head for quite some time. And being aware that I'm part of the problem is an important step as well, because you might be doing the same. It's not just anime gacha games. Every Counter-Strike case normalizes gambling to a degree that it shouldn't. The choice to engage with systems that are problematic is a barrier we have to face. It's a well-known fact that boycotts don't work. And a large portion of the gaming audience taking part in funding these systems don't seem to care or see where the future of monetization is going. It feels like we're strapped to the rails. The trolley's coming, and the choice of our future is decided by someone that can't see the tracks. I hope they make the right choice, but I'm also not the most confident. If you have any thoughts, rebuttals, or questions, then please go ahead. I do read every single comment that comes onto my videos. I gotta have something to do when I'm skiving from my real life job. But thank you for watching. But now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go back to building a time machine to stop Oblivion's horse armor from ever being released. Wish me luck.